Hi, I'm Camille J. Hanna from Courthouse Technologies, and this is Courthouse JMS training video on Empaneling a Jury. Let's start from the login screen. When at the login screen, you enter your username and password. When you enter your username and password, it takes you to the default page. In most cases, this will be the calendar view. Before you can empanel a jury to a case, you will need two things. The first thing is a case record created. The second is a panel created for that case. You will know if your case has a panel created for it if the dot next to the case name on the calendar screen is green. This is important because when you create a case in Courthouse JMS, the dot next to it is blue. If your case is blue, then you have to create a panel in order to move on. If you do have a case that has a panel, click on the case name to go to the case record. Once in the case record, take notice of two fields halfway down the screen. One is the juror's requested field, and the other is the alternate's requested field. Once done, click on the Empanelment tab to see your panel. The panel list will be sorted in the order they were selected. Take notice that all of the candidates have a status of panel. When you want to empanel the jury, click on the Manage button at the top of the list. This will take you to the empanelment page. This page is split into two sides. The left is the panel side and displays all of the people on the panel you created. The right side is your jury side and will display all of the candidates that will be a juror or alternate. Before you can make someone a juror, you will need to select the label you want to attribute to each candidate. You do this through the drop-down box shown here. In this example, we'll choose Juror first. Once the label is selected, you'll need to choose which candidates you want to make a juror. You do this by clicking the box next to each candidate's name. After you have selected everyone you want, click the Apply button to move those candidates over to the right side. Take notice of the Results column once done. Another method of making a panel member a juror is by clicking the arrow button next to each candidate. This will move over candidates one at a time, shown here. You can also move candidates from the jury side back to the panel side by clicking the arrow next to the candidate's name. Here are a few more examples of this feature. Once you have all the jurors on the right side, you may want to add an alternate. To do this, you will need to change the label in the drop-down box as shown here. You perform the same procedure as picking a juror. Click the box next to the candidate you wish to make an alternate and click Apply at the top of the page. At this point, you may want to label everyone in the panel depending on the results of the voir dire. Although not necessary, it will make your statistical reports accurate in the long run. Take notice again of the Result column. You will see the labels that you attribute to each candidate. After you have labeled everyone, your screen will look something like this. Once done, click Continue to create your jury. Take notice of the screen that comes up. At the beginning of this video, I mentioned that you should enter the amount of jurors requested and alternates requested in the case record. If what you have done on the empanelment page does not coincide with what you entered on the screen popping up, this recap page will display and ask you if you wish to continue. In this case, I did not put an alternate on the case, so I will click Cancel to take me back to the empanelment page in order to correct my omission. After I've made my adjustments, I click Continue. This will take me back to the case record. Once there, take notice of the juror's seated field at the top. It has now been populated, as has the alternate seated field. Another important field that is filled out now is the empanelment date. It will have today's date on it. If you go back to the Empanelment tab, you will see a new column called Panel Result. If you click at the header at the top, the system will sort by panel result, shown here. If you do not see all the candidates at this point, you may need to use the scroll bar to move to the bottom of the list. You can also print a jury seating chart by clicking on the Seating Chart button. Once I go back to the calendar view, take notice of the dot next to our case record. It is now yellow. This means the case has a jury impaneled to it. We have taken this case from blue to green and now to yellow. If you have any further questions regarding this or any other training movie, please contact us at 1-877-521-2199 or email us at support@courthouse-technologies.com. Thank you.